Special breaking news edition of Seattle Seahawks Today Live. Tyler Jones here with you, out of the gates, ready to go, as Connor Williams has signed a one-year, $6 million contract with your Seattle Seahawks with $3 million guaranteed. That news coming within this last hour from ESPN's Adam Schefter. We'll react to the news. We'll show you what Mike McDonald had to say about Connor Williams. We'll hear from his agent, Rosenhaus. We'll go over the Pro Football Focus grades, everything you need to know about Connor Williams coming up in just a matter of moments. Glad to have you with us, folks. What is your one-word reaction to the Seahawks signing Connor Williams? I got to tell you, I am thrilled. I'm so satisfied. This is a big deal. This is a big win for the Seattle Seahawks to get the help that they were looking for. One of the best interior linemen in the National Football League, and he's coming to Seattle and fixes a big concern for the Seahawks offensive line entering 2024. We'll go over all of it here in just a bit. On the ones and twos today, Jack Lotteray, I believe, is making his Seahawks Today debut. We've worked together for 2.5 years. We've done live shows together, but I believe, Jack, this is your first time here on Seahawks. Welcome, first off. Secondly, what do you think? Connor Williams headed to Seattle. What do you think of this move, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long. I'm sure I've been on Seahawks at one point, but it's been forever. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the welcome. I mean, Connor Williams, I think, in my opinion, was one of the best just free agents on the market, not even offensive linemen, best free agents. And, you know, he graded out as, I think, the best
interior
offensive lineman last year.
Yeah.
And he missed games.
Yeah.
So, that's significant. I mean, I don't know significantly the needs of the Seahawks, but you can never use too much O-line help, and Williams is one of the best. So if he's healthy, this is an incredible signing.
Checking in on the chat, David says stoked. Uma Pirate Girl says awesome. Billy Bob III says he's super solid. Kenneth says amazing. Ian says solid. Daryl says, oh, hell yeah. Chris says best center available. Ian says Jack. Austin says suey. Chieftain says it was impossible for Pete to invest in the O-line for some reason. This is refreshing. That's a great point. Chieftain saying hello. Billy Bob saying perfect. Get us your one-word reaction. Let us know what you think of the move for the Seahawks to sign Connor Williams. Also, how would you grade the signing? A, B, C, D, or F? I'll give you my grade coming up later, but want to hear from you guys first. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or F of this move? As I mentioned, I'll give you my grade coming up momentarily, but want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments section. Jack, I know you don't cover the Seahawks regularly, but just of what we know, an interior offensive lineman, his quality, for just $6 million that's going to be your starting center, it's hard not to give this a good grade.
No, I mean, I give it an A. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah. I mean, again, he graded out as the best interior offensive lineman last year, again, for $6 million. And again, I don't know the Seahawks' needs. I'm assuming they needed offensive line help.
Oh, they did.
If you go out and get Connor Williams. So I don't really think you can grade this anything less than an A minus, maybe. I don't think you can go lower than that. There is literally no downside to this. If he's hurt and he can't play, well,
it was $6 million.
It's $6 million, and I'm sure you got some young backups that can get some reps. It's a great signing.
Looking at the chat right now, get your grades in A, B, C, D, or F. Jack, I feel like we didn't even need to put B, C, D, or F on the graphic. It's got to be an A one way or the other. Whether it's A plus, A, or A minus, I think this is going to be unanimously loved by Seahawk fans. Checking in the chat here. Chieftain says A. I got Tito says W. It's a win. Uma Pirate Girl says A+. Get your grades in. A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know in the chat what you think of this move by the Seattle Seahawks to sign Connor Williams. Before we go any further in today's show, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Game Time, the best place to go for last-minute tickets and the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Let's say you want to go to a Seahawks preseason game. Maybe you want to go see your Seattle Mariners. Whatever it may be, pick the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you get to pick your seat. See if you like that seat or not. Get the visual, if you will, and then you're checking out. With all major credit card providers, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, fast, simple, and easy, folks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Got a super chat rolling in from Doom. And by the way, we are reacting to your super chats tonight here on this special edition of Seahawks Today. There will not be a mailbag. The only way you can get screen time on today's show is by sending a super chat. $ next to the chat box supports the work we're doing. And if we get to 300 in super chats tonight, I'll do a boot. So there's the offer. We could do a special boot on today's show. $ next to the chat box if you want to contribute. First super chat coming in from Doom. As Doom writes in, I wonder if this signing will have Olu move to guard. Either way, this is a huge W. What a great signing. Now, think about this, Doom. You make a very good point. One of the things that we talked about with Olu when he was drafted out of the University of Michigan, hail to the victors, valiant, hail to the mighty, was that this was a guy that could play center or guard. His preferred position was the center spot, but that he had the potential to play guard if needed to. Ultimately, the Seahawks kept him at the center spot all year long last year as the backup to Evan Brown. And then the idea was this year that he would be the starting center. Well, now Connor Williams is here, so he's not going to be your starter, obviously. But there's a possibility. Could play center, could play guard potentially. I think that Olu is going to be very competitive in either one of these spots. And if, God forbid, an injury happens to a center or a guard, then he's going to be right there, potentially competing for that said playing time. So, Doom, you bring up a good point. I'm very curious to hear what Mike McDonald has to say, Ryan Grubb, Scott Huff, the offensive line coach, of what they have in mind. But don't be mistaken. Don't think this is the last we've seen from Olu by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's very possible he could be playing center or guard, either one. So, Doom, we owe you the old McDonald song. Jack, do you know the words? Or do I need to sing it for you and then you learn as we go along? All right, here it goes. It's very simple, Jack. You know this song. It's just the Seahawks twist to it. Old McDonald had a farm, C-I-E-I Hawks. There you go, for our guy Mike McDonald. The boss man, James Yoder, with a $20 super chat, bang, says, shout out to the dynamic duo of TJ and Young Harbaugh. I predict that Michigan Mike McDonald will win the NFC this season. I love it, Yodes. I love it. Let's make it happen. And he sent in a 5 as well. Just saw the super chat menu. So here's $5 more for a beer bong. I will pay off accordingly. And another 5 from Yodes. Yodes is off and firing. Give Preston Yoder a shout out. He's watching Seahawks Live today for the first time. Preston Yoder, my man, welcome to Seahawks Today. Go Blue, go Michigan. We're going to make Mike McDonald proud for you guys this season. It's going to be a big year. The Yoder family watching at home. Yeah, get the Young Harbaugh. I know it's not a great day for our boy Olu from Michigan that he's getting benched, technically speaking. But you know what? We are Michigan men here on Seahawks Today with Mike McDonald, with Olu, with Mike Morris. It's going to be the Michigan men that are going to help this team get to the top and hopefully get to an NFC championship game this year. James Yoder, the first beer bong of the day, courtesy of the boss man himself. Everybody spam James. Everybody spam Preston. The Yoder family. Show it up. Show it up strong. Go Hawks. Go Blue. And here's the Young Harbaugh jersey. How about that? I love it. Looking great. National champs. Natty. And Mike McDonald helped get that team ready, set the tone for them to win the national title a couple years later. So, championship DNA there from Mike McDonald. Cheers to you, Yodes. Let's drink.
Everyone spam chug. Let's go. Chug, 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 chug.
Woo! There's our first one. And then we owe the old McDonald's song for Yodes sending in another 5 as well. So I'll sing it one more time. And then hopefully with our next 5, Jack Lauderay is going to be ready to go. So here we go. Old McDonald had a farm. C-I-E-I Hawks. There we go. Ian with a $2 super chat writes in. Now we have 3 centers. Will we keep all 3? The answer? No. They are not keeping all 3 of these centers. Nick Harris, you got 2 options, buddy. Get ready to learn fullback or you're out of here. Essentially, that's going to be the case with Nick Harris. Either he plays the fullback position, and that might not really be an option anyway. The Seahawks might not necessarily want a fullback, or he's going to be cut and he's going to be gone. That's the situation right now. You have 3 centers. We'll see how Olu and Nick Harris battle out in camp and do their thing. But no way are the Seahawks keeping 3 centers on their 53-man roster. But, folks, we have time. We have the next 3 weeks of the preseason to figure this out of who will make that 53-man roster. So, Ian, great question. Thanks for sending in that super chat. We're going to get to the cut here in just a moment with our full-on reaction. But first, I need all the 12s to wake up, all right? Some of you just might be getting off work, just now getting in and hanging out with us. I need your voices heard loud and clear. Lauderay, give a warm introduction to Lauderay. If you want a shout-out for the very first time from Young Harbaugh, you need to spam S in the chat over this next minute. I want to break a chat record. I want to see as many S's as possible. If tonight the last thing you do before you go to bed, or before you go to heaven for that matter, is spam S, then make it spam S in the chat right now. Spam S. Jack's going to shout out all the S's, and let's get this thing going. Beta, we will be live tomorrow for our normal live show, so don't miss out on that. We're also going to be live for our watch party coming up Saturday as well. So, Beta, if you can't donate today, don't worry. You'll have plenty of opportunities this week. Here we go. Next minute, as many S's as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Jack, shout them out.
All right, here we go. We got Ian, Beta, Brian, Jocular Jellyfish. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We got Chris, user 3056. We got Tito, the Bebop.
Keep going. Faster.
Seahawks Today by
Faster.
Chat Sports. RJ. Pedro.
Vote for Pedro.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Let's go.
Keep going. Keep going. Who's going to be the early favorite to be MVP and send in the most S's? What do we got here? Keep going. I see Ian, RJ, Pedro, Peta YT, Manny, Robert. 20 seconds left. Finish strong. Finish strong. If it's the last thing you do, make sure you're spamming S. 10 seconds left. Minecraft, Chris, Brian, Chieftain, Manny, Robert, the drummer, Beta YT, Jocular, Manny. Great job. Great job, chat. We're fired up. Tonight is a night of celebration, folks. We got our guy. We got Connor Williams, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. A round of applause. Connor Williams is a Seahawk. Like the video if you're ready to start the show. 8 more likes. I'll take a nice chug of this Miller when we get 8 more likes and get to 50, and we will get this thing off and rolling. It's a Tuesday night. We're getting lit on a Tuesday night. Connor Williams is a Seahawk. Life is good. Let's make this night one to remember, ladies and gentlemen. 8 more likes. Like it up. Do your part. And let's get started here on this special Tuesday night edition of Seahawks Today Live. where Connor Williams is officially a member of the Seattle Seahawks. 7 more likes away, and we'll start the show, and we'll get you the full-on reaction of Connor Williams joining the Seattle Seahawks. We'll go over everything you need to know. I got an updated depth chart. I have a bio on Connor Williams to get to, some stats, also what Mike McDonald said recently. We'll also let you hear from his agent, Connor Williams' agent, Drew Rosenhaus, as well. 2 more, and I'm taking a chug, and then we're getting this thing started. Let's get this thing going. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's 51 likes. All right. Without further ado, let's tell you more about Connor Williams joining the Seattle Seahawks as we begin our live edition of Seahawks Today on a Tuesday night. I'm fired up. Let's get this show on the road. The news you all have been waiting for. Connor Williams is officially a member of the Seattle Seahawks as he has signed a 1-year, $6 million contract with $3 million guaranteed. Welcome into this breaking news edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you with a full reaction to this news of the latest signing by John Schneider and Mike McDonald. We've been teasing it for the last week plus of Connor Williams coming to Seattle. He had the visit within the last week or so, passed his physical, and then we were just stuck waiting. Is he coming to Seattle or not? Took a visit with the Baltimore Ravens this week, and that looked interesting, but it seemed more like that was just a negotiating tactic, if you will. Now here we are, and Connor Williams is headed to Seattle. As reported by Adam Schefter of ESPN, tweeting out the following moments ago, former Dolphins and Cowboys center Connor Williams has reached an agreement on a 1-year deal worth up to $6 million with $3 million guaranteed with the Seattle Seahawks. The deal was negotiated and confirmed by Drew Rosenhaus and Ryan Matha. That's the news. It is official. Folks, this is why you subscribe to Seahawks Today. When this news broke, me and the team, we got our resources together as quick as we could to bring you a video here on the channel. We're live as well with reaction to this news, and it's the first of 3 times we're live this week, folks. Going to be live again on Wednesday. Going to be live again for the watch party on Saturday for the first preseason game. If you are a diehard Seahawk fan, this is the channel for you. You ain't alive, you ain't subscribed. Sub it up, folks. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV for daily Seahawks coverage you won't find anywhere else. My takeaway from this is a big win. Huge, bigly for the Seattle Seahawks. And now we can sit here and breathe a sigh of relief about this offensive line, because this was such a huge concern for this Seahawks team entering 2024. You had question marks at the tackle spot. Is Charles Cross going to finally develop? Can he stay healthy and look like the former top 10 pick? Is Abraham Lucas going to figure the knee out? What about the interior? How good is Laken Tomlinson? Are you going to go with Bradford or Haynes? How are they going to look? Do you trust Olu to get the job done? And now you bring in one of the very best players at his position. All right? The nerds at Pro Football Focus graded Connor Williams with an 86.5 overall grade, making him the highest graded interior offensive lineman last year in the entire National Football League, folks. Began his career as a second-round pick out of the University of Texas, previously playing with the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. And then the numbers, we mentioned the 86.5 grade. Well, then this past season, if you take it even a step further, I know he had some injuries, and including a torn ACL week 14. But in about 500 snaps, he still managed to have just 1 sack allowed, only allowed 1 hit on the quarterback, 4 hurries, and 7 penalties. And my guy, Will Scott, is going to tell me, Tyler, he struggles with snapping the football. I've already gotten texts from Will Scott, former Dolphins Today host, telling me this. And I got to tell you, the Pro Football Focus grades say that's not an issue. Everything else seems to be that is fine with Connor Williams. If snapping was a real issue, like the fake news people like Will Scott want to say it is, he wouldn't be playing center. He'd be playing guard. He wants to play center. He's earned the right to play center, and he will be the Seahawks starting center in 2024. And it's a great signing. And it's a discount, too. A player of this quality for only $6 million. I love it, folks. What is your one-word reaction to the Seahawks signing Connor Williams? I'll give you my one-word reaction in a moment, but want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think. What is your one-word reaction to the Seahawks bringing Williams in? My one word is overjoyed with this news. This is a big effing deal, folks, that the Seahawks bring in a player this late in the ball game. We got a preseason game on Saturday, folks, and you just signed one of the best interior offensive linemen and addressed your biggest flaw entering 2024, because you already took care of the run defense with what you did bringing in Byron Murphy, with getting a new deal for Leonard Williams, adding Jonathan Hankins and all that. That's addressed. You're looking pretty dang good when it comes to the defensive line and the run defense. But the offensive line, oh, brother, this was full-on panic mode, if we're going to be honest with you, of where this offensive line was at just a couple days ago. We don't know when Abe's coming back, hopefully sooner than later, but is that knee issue going to be chronic? Who knows? How well is Christian Haynes going to put it together? I don't know. He's a third-round rookie. Anthony Bradford, jury's still kind of out on from what we saw last year. Laken Tomlinson wasn't great last year with the Jets, if we're going to be honest with you. Sure, he was a Pro Bowler a couple years ago, but I don't know. And then there's Charles Cross, who hasn't even come close to looking like the top 10 pick that he was supposed to be a couple years ago. And now everything just feels okay. This is a moment where I turn to my brother next to me. I'm going to pretend I have somebody next to me here. And I just grab their neck and say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's what we're looking at with this Seahawks team now. They've been trying to find the best combo at left guard and center. Well, Connor Williams is going to help you find that best combo now. He's coming off the ACL injury, but his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, says, hey, he's ready for training camp. He's ready to play week one. The original talk with Connor Williams was that he would be a guy that you sign now and stash him away and come back midseason and be kind of like a player you traded for at the trade deadline, except you're not giving up anything. That's not the case now. Now you got a guy who says he's ready to go. Looking to play center, not looking to play the offensive guard spot. There's some possibilities for Olu. Doesn't mean he's going away by any means. When he was drafted out of Michigan, the talk was that he could play center or guard, either one. So he's still got a place on this team. And then, did I mention? You got him cheap. You got him cheap, folks. Who would have thought? $6 million for a player of this quality? For one of the very best in the NFL at his position. And I always coming off the ACL. But $6 million is a steal. And some of y'all have been in my comment section the last couple of weeks. And this is where I get the chance to say I was right. Because I called this a long time ago, folks. And some of you sat here and didn't believe me and said, oh, they don't have the money. They can't make it happen. I said, watch out. They do. I know they have limited cap space, but they can do this. Sure enough, they got him, and they got him cheap. They even got him cheaper than I thought they were going to get him for. So Jones was right. Suck it to all the haters and the losers. I told you it was going to happen. It did happen. Today's show, sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Maybe you want to go to a Seahawks preseason game. Maybe you want to go to a Mariner game. Whatever it may be, choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not, get the visual, and then you're checking out just like that with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. It is fast, easy, and simple, folks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your very first purchase. Terms apply. Again, current account redeem code CHAT SPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets. Lowest prices. Guaranteed. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. What you need to know, a couple of notes on Mr. Williams. He passed his physical with the Seahawks. He is ready to go. Mike Macdonald said he had a great visit with Seattle last week, that they felt very confident in his abilities and that he would be a good fit. Macdonald has already said he's playing center if he signs here. So there's not a discussion about him playing guard. He wants to play center. He's going to play center. And think about this, too. When we talk about connecting the dots, all right, Julian Love, just, what was it, about a week or two ago, signed an extension. And you got him locked up, which was a big deal to take care of Julian Love and get him in Seattle for the long term. You took care of that, right? That was a big deal. And his agent is Drew Rosenhaus. Mike Macdonald, or Connor Williams, rather, his agent is Drew Rosenhaus. I think there was some coordination here to kind of pave the way for this to happen. Very fascinating, to say the least. Mike Macdonald said this recently on Connor Williams. Let's get to it. Connor was here. Well, he had a great visit. I think he's a great player. But again, there's a process with these things. People being free agents, coming off injuries, things like that. The timetable a little bit up in the air right now, but we'll see where it goes. And where does he fit in? He's got positional flex, but last year he did a great job playing center. So I think that's where you'd find him if he was here. To kind of wrap this all up, to put a bow on this show, folks, this changes the entire season for the Seahawks now. Now you go into 2024, and there's not a glaring weakness all of a sudden. The offensive line, much improved. The defensive line, much improved. The coverage linebackers, much improved. The secondary, much improved. You got really good receivers, really good running backs. You got Geno coming off back-to-back Pro Bowl campaigns. Now the Seahawks are a serious football team. They are a legit serious football team entering 2024, folks. You got to like that. How would you grade the signing of Connor Williams? I'll give you my grade here in just a second. Want to hear what you guys think, A, B, C, D, or F. I'll give you my grade here in just a second, but want to hear from you first. Weigh in, let us know. My grade, it's an A+, because of course it is. You've got a top-level interior offensive lineman. You filled a position of need, and you got him on a cheap contract. If you don't like it, I mean, I feel bad for your spouse because you must be hard to please. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, this was a great deal, no matter how you slice it. A+ grade from me. Grade it. Let me know. Subscribe now to Seahawks Today. We're just getting started. What an exciting week ahead, folks. We're going to be live Wednesday for our normal Wednesday live show. We're going to be live on Saturday for the watch party. So make sure you subscribe and join us for a full week ahead as we get started with Seahawks football. It's back, folks, and better than ever. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, Pablo with a $100 super chat. Bang! Pablo, 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 Pablo. Everybody spam Pablo. Spam Pablo. Spam Pablo in the chat. Pablo, I owe you a couple of Seahawks sauces. We'll pay off here in just a moment. Tyler Jones, what do you think about Anthony Bradford? Second season with the Seattle Seahawks. What do you think Anthony Bradford's second season, breakout season? Everybody keep on spamming Pablo as I answer this question for Pablo. There is no mailbag today. The only way you can get on screen is by sending a super chat like Pablo here. Anthony Bradford, I'll be honest. Jury's still out on Anthony Bradford. He's got a lot to prove at this point. I was left with a lot of question marks about Anthony Bradford last year. And I think Christian Haynes is ultimately going to win that starting right guard position over Anthony Bradford. But just kind of like what we talked about with Olu here, that doesn't mean that we won't see Anthony Bradford. What it means is that Anthony Bradford will be a rotational guy. He'll be able to step in at the left guard or the right guard spot, either one. And if there's an injury, if a guy needs rest, Anthony Bradford is going to be the first guy they call. And, folks, you better believe that is still a significant role. Just because you aren't the starter doesn't mean that you aren't an impact player of sorts. Pablo, I'll say this. Even though Anthony Bradford I don't think is going to start, he still means a lot to this Seahawks team. I think he's going to be a big improvement from what he was last year, but I like Christian Haynes a little bit more. Pablo, I will pay off some Seahawks sauce here in just a bit. Super chat menu if you want to be like Pablo. We can keep partying, keep having a good time. I don't want to go anywhere. Jack is hanging out here with me as well. We can do whatever you guys want tonight. We can stay here as long as you need, but you got to be super chatting to keep this show going. First-time super chatters, you get the Seahawks chant. $5 super chat, we'll do the old McDonald's song. $10 super chat, we're doing shots. $25 super chat, I'll do a beer bong. $50 super chat, we'll get sauced with the Seahawks sauce. And if we reach $300 in super chats, then I am doing a boot. And we're making some significant progress on that boot, by the way. We're at $137 right now. So we're just over halfway from getting to Das Boot. So here is what's going to happen right now, folks. I am going to go get the Seahawks sauce ready. Jack's going to hop on the mic for a moment. While I'm gone and getting the Seahawks sauce ready, every $5 super chat that comes in, I will take a shot at tequila. We'll go to the Patron Zone. It's a Tuesday night. Seahawks just signed the best interior offensive lineman in the league. Let's get effed up. Let's have a party. Let's enjoy ourselves here, folks. But it's up to you guys to make it happen. So let's see what you can come up with. Every $5 super chat while I go to get the Seahawks sauce ready is a shot. Let's get this thing going. Jack, take it away. I'll be right back.
All right. You heard the man. You heard the man. Every $5 super chat. We're going to the Patron Zone. All right, let's ask a question while we're hanging. Let's shout your city. Let's see where you guys are at. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? How you feeling? How you feel about the move? Shout your city. I'll give some shout-outs. Oh, boy. The Royals tied the game.
Oh, we got a tie game?
Tie game. Don't love that. Don't love that. Ian is in Auburn, Washington. Mark Mason, Phoenix. I'm from Arizona, Mark. What's good? Audrina from Lakewood, Washington. Jocular from Vancouver.
So, Jack, for folks that don't know, you're from Arizona. You're from Tucson specifically, but you still went to Arizona State.
Yeah, I went there for the journalism school.
What's wrong with Arizona's journalism school?
Not nearly as good as the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State.
Fair point.
I love the University of Arizona. My dad and I were season ticket holders for their football team for 10 years. When it came time to go to college, go to the better school.
What do you think of my guy, Mike Stoops?
I'll tell you what, a good number of years that we were season ticket holders, old Stoops was the head coach, and that was an experience. We do have a 5 from Devin. Take a shot, my guy. Go to the zone.
Go to the zone. We'll go to the zone. There's no zone like the Patron Zone.
No zone like the Patron Zone.
I'll take a shot for Devin. I also got some Seahawks sauce to pay off here in just a second, too. Devin says, take a shot, go to the zone. Oh, nice. Getting a little sexual tonight here on Seahawks Today. This is for everybody that likes the 69. Cheers.
The Patron Zone.
The first one is always fine. It's the next one that it really starts to hit. And here's the next one from Ian. This is when it's going to start to feel a certain way. You know, I like to feel a certain way sometimes, not that way right from Patron, but you know what I mean. Wesley, I think he's commenting to Wesley. Oh, from Wesley. Okay. Will we be a top 10 defense in 2024? I think no, but they were what, 26th, 27th last year? Folks, I know top 10 defense. It sounds sexy. It sounds nice, the idea of being a top 10 defense. Believe me. I exactly. Unless you have some ties or something, But with that said, being a top 10 defense is extremely difficult. If the Seahawks were top 15, I'd be thrilled. If they were top 16 or 17, I can live with that. Jumping to the top 10 is a huge leap. If they're top, kind of simmer down expectations, if you will. One thing at a time. If they're top 15, we should be thrilled. We should be overjoyed if that's the case, if they can make that happen. Ian, thanks for that super chat. Now I'll pay off the Seahawks sauce. Pablo with that $100 super chat. The first of two Seahawks sauces. I can't tell you what's in the Seahawks sauce. I'd have to kill you if I had to tell you. But it is a grenade. So with that said, everybody spam Pablo for his $100 super chat and send in the Seahawks sauce. Let's get sauce with the Seahawks sauce tonight.
Pablo.
Here we go.
Everyone spam Chug and Pablo at the same time.
There's the first. I owe another for Pablo. We'll pay off here in just a second. Chat, I don't know if my stream's a little behind today or what, but a little quiet on that. Show Pablo some love for that $100 super chat. A little bit of delay. There we go. Now Ian's spamming Pablo. There's some others. Here's the super chat menu as I have one more Seahawks sauce to pay off. First time super chatters, you get the Seahawks chant. $5 super chat, Old McDonald song. $10 super chat, we'll take some shots. $25 super chat, we'll do a beer bong. $50 super chat, we'll do the Seahawks sauce. As in case you're just joining us, Connor Williams has signed with the Seattle Seahawks, agreeing to terms on a 1-year, $6 million contract with $3 million fully guaranteed. And we broke it down just a few moments ago. So if you missed that video, we're going to have it on the channel coming up in just a matter of moments. You can also rewind on this live video as well to see that as well, our full breakdown and recap. And then there's also a YouTube short as well that we have. But from now to the end of the show, basically what we're going to do is going to take you guys' questions. Send us a super chat on your thoughts on all things Seahawks, whether it's Connor Williams, whether it's Mike McDonald, Geno Smith. I don't care. Whatever you guys got, send us a super chat. We'll react to it. We'll hang out with you guys as long as you want us to. We're at $147 in super chats right now. We're just over halfway to a boot. If we get to 300, we're doing a boot tonight. But we need to see what you guys are made of if you can make it happen. So that is how you can get involved and contribute. Jack, I'll do this other Seahawks sauce here in a moment. But I figured while we have you here, you are our baseball insider here at Chat Sports. The next super chat that comes in, I want the 12s who are also Mariners fans to come up with maybe a question or two for Jack, whether it's on baseball, whether it's on the Seattle Mariners. I mean, you got some takes ready to go of what's going on with in the baseball world, right?
I mean, I've got a take on the Mariners. I won't say it. I'll wait for a super chat. But I have a take on the Mariners from the trade deadline that I'm willing and ready to say.
So if you want to hear Jack's hot take on the Seattle Mariners, next super chat, let us know. I don't care if it's $1 or if it's $100. Mariner fans, stand up. Let your voice be heard. And Jack will tell you what he really thinks about how the Mariners responded to how they did at the trade deadline. So stay tuned for that. Here's the next Seahawks sauce for Pablo. Everybody keep on spamming Pablo in the chat. I see Ian typing Pablo, Devin, Pablo typing Chug. I like it. Devin, Wesley, Pablo, and others. Cheers, everybody. Let's go Hawks.
While he's chugging, grade the signing of Connor Williams, A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know in the chat. Make it happen. And chug. You spam chug too.
There we go. There we go. We keep on chugging. Chugging, you little rats. Right? Oh. Pablo, getting a lot of love from Ian. Good to see. Let's go back to the menu for y'all. Next super chat. You guys are going to want to hear Jack's hot take on the Mariners. You've been while we've been doing this, you've been keeping tabs. You're a Red Sox fan. How the Red Sox doing tonight against my Royals here?
Tie 3-3. Brian Bayo just absolutely shit the bed in the bottom of the fifth.
My Royals. It's been a nice year.
Although the Sox did just get a leadoff double, so I'm feeling good about that. Yeah, no, I mean the Royals have been good. I mean I don't want to say I was the first to say it, but this offseason I called them my dark horse of the year.
And I thought you were crazy too.
Everyone thought I was crazy. I said, watch out, this Bobby Witt guy is going to be competing for an MVP. This young team going to be one of the best in the American League, and look at where we are now.
I told Smitty, Bobby Witt's going to be MVP someday, and he told me I was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be this year. He's definitely making an argument, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, after last month, he had one of the best months in baseball that we've seen in a long time. But, yeah, I mean, the Royals playing well. The Sox they're rallying, though. No outs, runners on first and second. So
Ian wants to hear this hot take about the Mariners. As we haven't, I'll be honest, we have not talked a ton of Mariners baseball in this show over the years, but since we got Jack Lauderay here, we might as well. We'll put Jack on screen coming up in just a moment on his Mariners take. Good job by Ian sending in that $2 super chat. Show Ian some love. Spam Ian in the chat right now. Ian is a very loyal contributor. Ian, I think I've seen you on about every live show about the last month, my guy. It is much appreciated. Thanks for being here and supporting the work we're doing. All right, Jack, give it to us. Tell us all about the Mariners here.
So I don't really think it's a hot take. It's just like a take I have specifically on the Mariners. We covered the MLB trade deadline last week, or was it the week before? I don't know. Time makes no sense for me anymore. So we covered that, and I did a video, winners and losers of the trade deadline. And I had the Mariners as a clear winner. I love the additions of Randy Rosarena and Justin Turner. Like on the team card, because we had team cards for every single team that had their needs and whether they were buyers or sellers and what they had done. My need for the Mariners, it wasn't a position, it was any offense whatsoever, because they have one of the best, if not the best rotation in baseball. That's clear. You can look in the stats. One of the best rotations in baseball. But they statistically had the worst offense in baseball. Worse than the Chicago White Sox, who are on a 21-game losing streak. Like, they needed offense, and I think that they did that plus more. Rosarena starting to get hot at the right time, and we know what he can do when he's good. And Justin Turner, he played on the Red Sox last year, so I know personally. Like, he's a great veteran leader. You got some young players there that haven't been playing well. You bring in a veteran leader like Justin Turner, who hits the ball very well at a very high clip. They were one of my biggest winners, and that's I don't think you can consider that a hot take, because they did well. They did what they needed to do. So I was very pleased and thought that the Mariners did very well at the trade deadline.
Mariners going to be a playoff team?
It's tough. This is another take, because this is a very close race between the Rangers, not so much. They're kind of out of it, but the Astros and the Mariners. This is a very tough race.
That's the worst division in baseball.
Worst division in baseball, one of, yeah. Yeah, probably. Whoever finishes in second between the Mariners and Astros, they're not making the postseason.
Yeah.
You have to win the division in the West this year to make the postseason, because there are too many good teams in the other divisions that are fighting for the wild card. You are not going to make the postseason if you finish second in the division. It's not going to happen. I have faith in the Mariners to a point. I have faith in their rotation. we need to see the additions they made at the trade deadline work, and we need to have the rest of the lineup, which was notoriously bad, start to step up as well. Like 2 additions is not going to earn you a playoff spot when your lineup from top to bottom is that bad. The lineup needs to start producing. If they can do that, then yeah, sure. These Astros are good, but they're not like the Astros of old. They're just not.
Sure.
So, like, they are vulnerable. They're good, but they're vulnerable. The Mariners have shown the capability to get there.
Devin says Astros suck.
I mean, like, they suck as a franchise. I don't like the Astros. But you can't look at me and tell me that they're a bad team this year.
They're 2 games above 500.
They're 2 games above 500. And that's considering. Oh God, Dom, what was that? Just ran into an owl. What are we doing?
Jack reacting to the Red Sox.
They're going to challenge it though. That's interesting. I'm going to give play-by-play of this Red Sox game. Dom Smith, pass ball. He's on third. Tries to go home. Gets thrown out at home, but it is going to be reviewed. Okay, I digress. The Astros, like, they're a bad franchise. I don't like them. I don't like what they stand for, even though Alex Cora came from the Astros and was involved in that Gene scandal, is now my manager, and I love him. But you can't tell me they're a bad team. Their lineup from pretty much top to bottom is pretty lethal, and I am scared anytime any of them come up to the plate. And they got Yusei Kikuchi from the Blue Jays, so their rotation's better, and their rotation's kind of the reason why they've kind of held up. But you also have to remember, they started not historically, but like really bad this season.
Yeah.
They were like 16, 17 games below 500. Now they're 2 games above 500, and they are competing for their division. So that's pretty impressive. So you just got to say it, you know? It just is what it is.
It is what it is, as they say. Ian, thanks for that super chat. He got his money's worth of that $2 super chat with Jack.
There's one thing I love. There's 2 things that I can talk anyone's ear off. It's movies and it's baseball.
How about this?
And this year in particular with baseball, like I am so locked into baseball this year, the entire league. I can talk people's ears off when it comes to baseball.
Next super chat that comes in, well, we have Lotta Ray here. Jack is going to give you the movie you need to see right now. The movie you need to see right now.
I got one.
Super chat of any amount. We're going to let Jack tell you.
Are we talking like the one that's in theaters right now that you need to go watch in theaters? Is that what we're talking about? Because I have one for that. Or do you just like movie in general?
I'll leave it up to you.
Oh, yeah, I'll do a movie that's in theaters because I think more people need to go to the theaters.
Dan, no.
Which I just want to say, update alert, the call was overturned. Dom Smith scored.
Okay. Oh,
let's go Sox.
Dan, try again. I've had a lot of stuff in my email that keeps getting sent to spam. Please, I'll double check my spam just in case. We've had a problem with that. Dan, good to see you, Dan the man. Tyler at chatsports.com. Send me that email, and I will take care of you, I promise. And if for whatever reason that ends up in my spam, we will figure something out. But we will take care of you. Your jersey's coming, I promise. Sorry about that. But my email has had some issues there. Next super chat comes in. Jack will give you the movie you need to see right now. Super chat of any amount. $sign next to the chat box. If we get to 300, we are doing a boot to celebrate this Connor Williams signing. Grade the signing, A, B, C, D, or F. What do you guys think? I said A+ was my grade. What is your grade? Weigh in. Let us know. A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section below. No mailbag today. Only taking super chats. $sign next to the chat box if you want to contribute. That's the only way you can get on today's show is by super chatting. And we'll put your message up, your avatar, whatever you guys got on your mind. And I would love to hear from you. Patrick weighs in and says, the Mariners are notoriously horrible after the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's why I'd be a little nervous. I mean, if you want my personal opinion, I have the Astros winning the division.
Oh.
That's just my opinion. Now, anything can happen, but we'll see. Of both teams, of each team's systems, okay? So 4 systems. Seattle's offense, Seattle's pitching. Astros offense, Astros pitching. Of those 4, I trust the Mariners pitching the most of all 4 of those. But I trust the Astros hitting second, Astros pitching third. So it just is what it is. And you're saying notoriously horrible after the break offense. This year, they've just been notoriously horrible. Like legitimately, if you look at the stats, like these stats, this is not an opinion. This is like literally objectively look at the stats. They are the worst offense in baseball, and it's not particularly close. They are. Statistically, they're the worst offense in baseball. Now, I think they will take a step up with Arozarena and Turner, and the White Sox continue to be a garbage can, but it is what it is.
Oh, super chat coming in from Dan the Man Miller. There is only one Dan the Man here on Seahawks Today. Somebody else tried to claim to be Dan the Man a while back. Dan Miller is the only Dan the Man. Good to have you back. Been a while since we've seen you, Dan. $20 super chat coming in with the Connor Williams sighting. What position do you still feel we need to upgrade or sign? You know, if it were up to me, I would like to see another pass-catching tight end because A.J. Barner's not that guy, Pharaoh Brown is not that guy, and Jack Westover is still a UDFA. You are going to ask a lot of Noah Fant to be your only top receiving tight end. If we're up to me, I'd go make a play to go get another receiving tight end at this point. Dan the Man, let's start off with Jack's movie take, and then I will pay off this accordingly. I'm going to do a beer bong for Dan the Man. I know we said 25, but I love Dan the Man so much. So, yeah, we'll call it 25. Yeah, we'll pay off accordingly. But before I do the beer bong, Jack, give us the movie that you need to see right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you one in theaters because I think more people need to go to the theaters because the theaters are awesome. I love going to the movie theater. It's Twisters. That is the
Ain't
ultimate,
no love in Oklahoma.
That is, I love that song too. That is the ultimate. Shove some popcorn in your mouth, turn off your brain, and have fun. Ultimate summer blockbuster.
Honestly, if I wasn't doing this live show tonight, I was going to go see Twister.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. And look, when I was a kid, I loved like Storm Chasing, the show Storm Chasers on Discovery Channel. If you guys have seen it, you're real ones. I've always been intrigued with the weather, with tornadoes, with storm chasing, all that stuff. So this was right up my alley. I watched Twister for the first time the night before I went and saw Twisters.
Ah.
And it was right up my alley. I absolutely loved it. So I went into this one with way better visual effects, and it was awesome. And Glenn Powell is great.
He's a good-looking dude.
I did a full video about how he is the next Hollywood movie star.
Are he and Sydney Sweeney an item?
I don't think so. They've kind of debunked that.
Okay.
They've kind of debunked that.
So So you're saying I still have a chance with Sydney Sweeney?
Go ahead.
Okay, great.
But Glenn Powell is great. Daisy Edgar-Jones is awesome. Like, the cast is great. The tornado stuff's awesome. And they actually, fun fact, they actually used actual footage from real-life storm chasers in the movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. And it's awesome. It's great. Story-wise, it's fine. You're not going to take away anything, physiological or all heady or anything like that. But go turn your brain off, sit in a theater for like 2.5 hours, and just enjoy watching people drive into tornadoes and all the carnage and all of that. It's a damn good time. And that's over. I recommend that over Deadpool and Wolverine, which might be a hot take. And boy, did people in my comments hate my hot takes on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
I liked Deadpool and Wolverine, but I didn't love it. I would recommend Twisters over Deadpool and Wolverine.
So as a kid from Oklahoma, you better believe I love Twister. Oh, great. I loved Twister growing up, and I remember going to Universal Studios in Orlando and doing the Twister ride. That thing was the shit. I loved it back in the day. And so when they announced they were making this movie, I was so thrilled. I loved the Luke Combs song and everything, and now this. I can't wait to see it myself. And I guess I'll have to wait another night. I'm hanging out with 12 tonight. That's okay. Twisters can wait.
Again, it's like, don't go in looking for some like story or some big emotional thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just fun summer blockbuster that's turn your brain off, have some popcorn, and have a good time. That's my big one.
Dan the man, cheers to you, my guy. Go Hawks. Another beer bong, shall we? All right. Thank you, Dan the man. Next super chat coming in. Matrix writes in, I feel good about Connor Williams. We need the improvement to a struggling O-line. Absolutely. As I mentioned in our segment earlier, this is just, everybody can breathe now. Breathe a second. Meditate. I mean, like that's kind of how we can feel now. It's going to be okay about this offensive line. And if there's injuries, whatever it may be, now you have depth pieces to work with. I feel so much better. So relieved, so much better. Matrix, I owe the old McDonald's song. Are you ready now, Jack?
I'll do one.
All right, here we go. For Matrix. Old MacDonald had a farm. C-I-E-I Hawks. There you go, Matrix. Dan the man. So then who's the best tight end that is still available? And why do you think we haven't gone for one yet? Well, I would try to go trade for Kyle Pitts. But that's just me. It's easier said than done. Why are you laughing?
I would just go trade for Kyle Pitts. That's what I would do.
If it were up to me, I would go try to trade for Kyle Pitts. But
if I was the GM, I would trade for Brandon Ayuk. Let's go get Pat Mahomes.
It's like, well, I put it in the trade machine so it can happen. Clearly.
Put it in the trade machine. They said it would work, so obviously it works.
Right. So if we're up to me, I'm trading for Kyle Pitts. I put him in the trade machine. But if I have to go to the market, there's not a ton out there. We could bring back Jimmy Graham. Nobody wants to do that. Jeff Swaim, Bryson Hopkins. Not much you can do. You pretty much have to make a trade at this point. So, yeah, I would try to go make a trade out there, Dan the man. I'll give you the DK song this time to change up a little bit. A different song for you. Choppin', McDonald's choppin', Geno passes, no one stopping, DK. Touchdowns all day. He rules. All right, Dan, just for you, I'm going to check my email to make sure it went through this time, and I'm checking my spam folder just in case. Dan, I see your email. I will take care of you. That is on my list this week. I promise. I see it. It is there. I will take care of that. I promise. All right. I'm putting a minute on the clock. Here's where we're at, folks. I got it. We're at $179 in Super Chats right now. We are 120 away from Das Boot. Still within striking distance. We can make a boot happen. I would love to do a boot, but we need your help to do that. I would love to keep hanging out all night. We could talk Seahawks. We could talk movies. We can talk baseball. Hell, I'd love to talk some college football. You guys know how much I love college football. We can talk about your Huskies or your Cougs, whatever. But we have to have reason, incentive to keep the show going. So I'm going to put a minute on the clock. If we get a super chat of any amount, then we can hang around. We can keep the show going and have a good time. If not, we'll sign off. We'll call it a night, and we'll see you tomorrow as we get another live edition of Seahawks Today on tap for you coming up at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific tomorrow afternoon. So that is what we're offering today. 1 minute on the clock. Super chat of any amount. Show keeps on rolling. We get to 300, 120 more, and then we will do Das Boot. So that is what's in the store here with 1 minute on the clock starting right now. Here we go. Jack, what's our update on the Sox Royals game here?
They're just coming back from commercial. 6-3, bottom 6.
Oh, no.
Don't worry.
Oh, I'm worried.
Zach Kelly's pitching for the Sox. He's not that good, so we'll see.
Okay.
I'm always pessimistic until the final out.
Fair.
I will never say a game is over because I've been hurt too many times with this damn team.
ALCS 2003, Game 7.
It's not even that. It's like just this year. It's just this year. This year. This year. Look, everyone's like, oh, they've won 4 World Series since 2000, which is, I'm so blessed and thrilled and for the greatest nights of my life for when they won those World Series. But the last 3 seasons, they finished last in the AL East.
Yeah.
And the ownership group has yet to show that they want to spend any money to make the team better. So the last taste in my mouth for the last 3 years has been dog shit. Like, it's been bad.
Since we're mentioning your team, the Red Sox, and the people's team, the Mariners, what kind of history? What comes to mind between those two franchises? Much there?
Off the top of my head, no. I mean, opening series of the year this year was Mariners Red Sox. Sox won 2 of 3, I believe.
You haven't had too many players go between the two teams, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I think more of the Mariners for like Griffey, Randy Johnson.
I loved Ichiro.
Ichiro, love Ichiro.
I one time, one of my favorite sports memories as a kid, I was at T-Mobile Park. Mariners, Yankees. Ichiro hits a walk-off home run in the outfield, and I was in the outfield.
That's an all-timer. That's an all-timer. That's like an all-time moment right there.
And it was the Yankees team that won the World Series that year in 2009.
That's a great moment.
Yeah. That was one.
That's still a ballpark I have yet to go to. So.
Oh, Matrix keeps the show going. Let me answer Dan's question he writes in, and then we'll get to Matrix here. Dan writes, what's your take on Seattle's record now? Do you still think they'll only have 9 or 10 wins or better with all these changes? I think that if everything goes right, 11 wins is possible now. I think 11 wins is possible. I think the floor is 8. The ceiling is 11. And prior to tonight, I said the ceiling was 10. Now I've bumped that up an entire game with Connor Williams. That's a big difference, folks. That's what I think, Dan. I think that's what you've done now. There's a Super Chat menu. Matrix with the $5 Super Chat. We'll do the old McDonald's song here in a second. With the new updated roster, what do you think the Seahawks season record will be? I am, call me optimistic. I'll bump this up from my 9-8 record to 10-7. I think that Connor Williams is worth 1 win. And that could be the very difference between making the postseason and missing the postseason is that 1 win. I think that's the big difference Connor Williams brings to this offensive line. Now you can run the football better. Now you can pass the football better. Now you have depth at that position. That's how much better I feel, Matrix. It is at least 1 win better. Oh, McDonald had a farm. C-I-E-I, Hawks. All right. We'll reset the shot clock. Another minute. Super chat of any amount. Show keeps on going. Otherwise, we sign off call tonight. We are at $184. Got to get to $300 for a boot. Still possible, but still work to be done. Before we sign off and I call tonight here. More to come on the channel. Going to be a great week ahead. Got a live show tomorrow. Smitty's going to be here, so stay tuned for that. And then on Saturday, we're going to be doing a watch party. Smitty will be here for that as well, as we'll have Seahawks and Chargers. Our coverage will begin at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. We'll do an hour-long pregame show. We'll react to the game live in real time. We'll have some drinks together. We'll party and root on the Seahawks here on the show. And then we'll stick around for a little postgame show afterwards. So a lot of fun. Going to be a great night ahead on Saturday night right here on Seahawks Today. I doubt Connor Williams is going to play Saturday night. I'd be very surprised. But you should see some of your favorite Seahawks play on Saturday night, so stay tuned for that. Where are you guys watching from? I got Ty Man the Buckeye, a Chat Sports OG from Ohio. It was only a matter of time. Matrix from Bremerton. Yes. I don't know what Ty Man the Buckeye does for work, but whatever it is, he gets to watch Chat Sports all day long. So it must be a pretty good job that he has. All right, I'm not seeing any more Super Chats. That's just fine. Got a fantastic week ahead, so that means we'll sign off. Jack Lotteray, thanks for stepping in on short notice, my friend, and hanging out with the 12s tonight and being here with us and sitting through a Red Sox win. Maybe we were good luck for you.
Hey, we'll see. You know what? I'm happy to be here. Anytime something big happens, I like being a part of the big moments. This was a big moment, so let's ride. Happy to be here with the 12s.
Dan the Man Miller says, good to talk to you again, Tyler. I haven't missed a single episode. Just haven't been on live in a while. Hey, Dan, you're always welcome. Can't wait to see you tomorrow for live and then our watch party on Saturday. Going to be a lot of fun. We will sign off. He's Jack Lotteray. I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow right here on Seahawks Today.